If you want to watch a video of us going in depth on a Macan, we've done the base one and we've done the Python Green GTS, which is also lizard green in my mind.
Hey guys, Ian here. Usually I am behind the camera, but today, because Mike is gone to New York City to check out the new Cadillac Escalade IQ, I am here doing the 0 to 60 test on this Macan T. So, we've got a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder engine, 261 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque. I'm going to throw this thing into Sport Plus. The car is lowering. Pretty cool. I'm going to turn off my traction control if it's already not off. And I'm not going to take off because there's a bunch of cars all of a sudden. One sec. Sport response button. We've got this thing on. And 3, 2, 1. So that was slow. 6.1 seconds. Let's try this one more time. It feels really quick right when you hit the gas pedal, but then it kind of fizzles out or something. Boom, 5.8. Perfect, that's great. That's a lot better. That is much better. 5.8 is good. One more time, third time's a charm. 5.88 is the one to beat. Launch control activated. Boom. 5.93, all right, 5.88 is the number. All right, that's about all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna throw this off to Mike again. See ya.
So the T in the Macan stands for touring, and what touring was supposed to be was basically a lightweight Porsche model with some extra tidbits, and that tidbit happened to be the Sport Chrono. And what Sport Chrono does is it tightens up the suspension, so you have 2 suspension levels when you don't get air suspension, which is an option on this. You also get a tighter driveline, which helps for launch control, which you get on this that you don't get in the base, because on your steering wheel you have a little turny button for all your drive modes and a button that says sport response. That's 20 seconds of passing power in your Macan T. That does have the same engine as an Audi Q5. And you get all these gray accents on the front bumper, the mirror caps, this little piece down there with the Macan T badge, and it says 15 millimeters lower than the base one. And more gray back here up with the spoiler. I'm not a huge fan of this yellow with the gray. I guess they just wanted to give us a press car that's like, hey, we can get this yellow, but you had 59 other choices. Who picked this car? Color. So let's look under the hood and these cool little cutouts they have. It's very retro, but that's on all Macans. Now take a look at this engine. It's so small. This 4-banger is really, really tiny. And this, like, I can work on it. It's so easy. I can touch the back of the firewall. Okay, so I'm officially convinced the only reason why this vehicle is not doing so well on the interwebs when people have reviewed it is because of the color. It is not because of anything else. I know that it's not the fastest Porsche, but it's one level above the base. Look at these doors. You have carbon fiber, really good fit and finish. Good, strong, tough Porsche. And these seats are cool. Listen, if you get into a Bentley, they have seats like this type of stitching. You have this exact design in a car that costs like $400K. I've seen it in real life. Now, when I'm inside my little Macan here, I will say that it fits the bill of what everybody wants, to have something sporty and sit a little bit higher, and this is what this does do. Remember, 60% of all people that buy Macans buy a base one with a few options, and they're giving you packaged together in a T. Because listen, if you took a base and you added all the spec and options that the T gives you, it would cost the same, if not a little bit more, than the S. If you don't remember from the beginning of the video, it was base, the T, the S, and then the GTS. Yep, so if you load up a base with all the toys that you get in this T, it costs a little bit more than the S. So obviously this is a really good offering. So people on the interwebs, what do you think? I actually think on the inside it's really good. Again, the color's really throwing me off, but it's cool. Look, you have carbon fiber everywhere. You've got this big screen. Of course, you have all this usual Porsche stuff. You've got the Macan down there, the sport steering wheel with all the Sport Chrono. It is a good fit and finish vibe in here. Of course, you don't get a sunroof, but who cares? Nobody uses their sunroof. And if you use your sunroof, then good for you. Now, we've already reviewed 2 other Macans, so I'm not going to take a deep dive into all the buttons and all that fun stuff, because really the T is about the drive. So let me quickly show you guys the back, and then we'll take it for a zip. Now, the Macan obviously holds 5 people, but the way this is designed in the back, it's really just designed for 2 people in the back. The way these seats are sort of bolstered forward. and the spacing in each position where you're sitting in. Like, nobody's really supposed to be sitting in the back here. It does have 2 USB-Cs, of course, your temperature controls, and everything feels pretty solid back here. The seats are firm and they feel very, very premium. Let's take it for a rip. All right, so Ian got 5.88 out of this thing. Very smooth. Wow, very smooth. Like, I literally just got out of the Civic Type R, and this thing is I'm totally different cars, but it's interesting, you know, it's people's opinions is always from what they just drove. So if somebody drove like a McLaren and then got in this, or somebody drove a GTS Macan and then got into this, it's just going to be 2 totally different opinions. So opinions sometimes don't mean anything. It's all in relative terms to who you're listening to and what they're telling you and what they just came out of. So I will say this is very smooth. It's just the crazy amount of people that dog this car, maybe kind of trying to look at it in a different light and say like, well, what is good about it? And there's lots good about it. It's just, you can't put certain cars against numbers, and Porsche has always been like, it's quick, it's fast, it's like exhilarating, it checks all those boxes. They're probably one of the only companies, if the only company, that manages to check the boxes on everything pretty much, except for affordability. But in theory, the resale values are pretty high on them, so maybe kind of cancel each other out. So the thing about this is it handles really well. That's the whole key with this. It handles really well, it sits high. Yeah, like, look at this, handles really well considering how high it is off the ground. Now there's different drive modes. I am in, let me go into Sport Plus there. Oh yeah, like, this thing is great. Like, the steering is great. So when I turn it, it like pivots that direction, like, right away. Boom, 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 and it goes right back to center really quick, which is what I always check on something so big, you know? At least sitting high, at least. Very good. But it's very smooth, quiet and smooth. Good. I think I said that 55 times already. What else do I like about it? Just very good fit and finish and quality. Now, again, it's $90,000 Canadian. You take, it starts at 68, 62 in the US. You take away the paint, and then I'll dumb it down to in the 70s. And honestly, for the 70s, it's not bad. I mean, I'm thinking like there's so much more I could buy. I could like buy for this 90 grand, you can buy a BMW X3M, which is a hell of a lot of car. That thing is a weapon. Makes like 200 horsepower more than this thing. But the only reason why is because the paint on this is so much money. So that's why it's being dogged. All right, so let's put the foot to the ground here. Okay, shifts very quick, PDK. Great shifting, but it only makes like 200 and change horsepower, 267 or whatever. That's not a lot of horsepower for this. Like, this is a fairly decent size. Like, if you drive a Q5, they're not fast. And this is what this is. Q5, basically. But just in a Porsche DNA. So look, it's cool that Porsche makes a really small, efficient engine with all the fluff. Like, take suspension. I can press my little suspension button here, and now I'm in normal mode. And when I press it, I have Chassis Sport selected. I hit it again, I get 2 little dots there, and I have Chassis Sport Plus selected, which makes it, of course, the suspension tighter, more firm, more bumpy. But even in this, it's nothing compared to that Civic Type R I just got out of in that comfort setting. This is still very good and smooth, and the steering is good. As I mentioned, it's tight, it's a Porsche. Everything about it is Porsche. What can I say? It is good, man. Handles really well, whips around the corner well. Obviously, it's a Macan, good visibility, sits high. Everybody's gonna be happy in here, no one's gonna complain. So there's definitely gonna be a group of people that are not gonna like this because this is way overpriced for what you get. But it is brand recognition, and Porsche is getting all types of customers. So they feel like, why not try to make every cent out of somebody, especially in a time where cars are tight on supply and people love the brand. Like, this is a very, very popular, culty, want to have a Porsche aspirational vehicle. And people don't care about speed necessarily, and this is perfect. They get all the fluff. That's an offering that never really existed back in the day. If you wanted some toys, you had to spend big money to get it. You had to buy the most powerful thing to get it. You couldn't get it on the base stuff. So they offer it now, so we can't complain. If we complain, we won't get this choice anymore. When we do become, or we get into the mindset of not wanting to speed because you already have 4 speeding tickets, but you want all the fluff. There you go. There's your answer. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.